shortly after news broke that President Donald Trump had fired FBI Director James Comey. U.S. Representative Trey Gowdy issued a statement expressing hope that our president will select an independent-minded person to serve as the head of our nation's premier law enforcement agency. The South Carolina Republican might actually be in the running for the job himself. A former prosecutor and solicitor, Gowdy's name is among those being floated to succeed Comey as FBI director. U.S. Representative John Ratcliffe, Republican Texas, confirmed the mounting media speculation about Gowdy's candidacy Wednesday, saying in an interview with Fox News that he and other lawmakers had been lobbying the White House directly on their colleagues' behalf. The White House, in turn, confirmed Gowdy was certainly in the mix, Ratcliffe said. "Here's what we need in an FBI director, familiar with the FBI, and as a former federal prosecutor, Gowdy is familiar with that," said Ratcliffe. "Somebody incredibly skilled, and anyone who has seen Gowdy question a witness on Capitol Hill or in his previous career knows he has that in spades." Speaking with the authority as a former U.S. attorney, Ratcliffe argued Gowdy would bring independence to the FBI as someone who has never at any time spoken or met with Trump. "The moment is never too big for Gowdy," Ratcliffe said. "Under the brightest lights and greatest scrutiny, Gowdy has always performed admirably." He likely was alluding to Gowdy's chairmanship of the now-disbanded committee to investigate the 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. In that role, Gowdy struggled to manage proceedings in a highly politicized environment that Democrats saw as designed to take down the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, Hillary Clinton, who was Secretary of State at the time of the incident. It was the Benghazi committee that uncovered Clinton's use of a private email server. While Republicans uniformly praised Gowdy for his integrity and professionalism, Democrats attacked him for perpetuating a partisan witch hunt. For Gowdy to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate, he wouldn't need Democrats. He would only need 51 votes, and there are 52 Senate Republicans. "We can do this with Republican-only votes," U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, told reporters on Capitol Hill on Wednesday, without mentioning any candidate specifically. "I would prefer that we pick somebody that can get some Democratic support, if there are any reasonable views left on the Democratic side about Trump." Gowdy does have support from at least one liberal Democrat, albeit one who does not hold federal office. "The best replacement for Comey is Trey Gowdy," said Bakari Sellers, a former South Carolina state representative and lieutenant governor candidate who is now a regular CNN contributor. "He's as honest as day is long." Meanwhile, the likelihood of Gowdy garnering bipartisan support on Capitol Hill was illustrated most starkly by U.S. Senator Chris Coons, D.Del. Asked by the Post and Courier what he thought of a possible Director Gowdy at the FBI, Coons stopped mid-stride, opened his eyes wide and let out a short, rueful laugh. Coons was so incredulous he stopped a colleague, U.S. Senator Michael Bennet, Democrat Colorado, and ran the question by him as if it were a joke. "That is snort-worthy," Coons said. Gowdy was not immediately reachable for comment, but his spokeswoman, Amanda Gonzalez, told the Post and Courier that his staff was aware of reports about Gowdy's candidacy for the FBI leadership role. Other possible FBI director candidates include former New York City Police Commissioner Ray Kelly, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, former U.S. Representative Mike Rogers, Republican Michigan Transportation Security Administrator John Pistole, and Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, Sheriff David Clark. In a sign the selection process is still in its early phase, senators from both parties Wednesday said they have not heard of a formal list of Comey's successors and wouldn't say who they might favor. On Wednesday, Democrats, including South Carolina U.S. Representative Jim Clyburn, were reiterating demands for an independent counsel to take over the Russia investigation. On Capitol Hill, South Carolina's Republican U.S. senators declined to enter the fray. Asked whether a special prosecutor should be appointed, U.S. Senator Tim Scott said he was not at this point prepared to make that call. "I want to see how this plays out," he said. "The timing is interesting, and I want to learn more about that." but at the end of the day before passing judgment I want to understand and appreciate the sequence of events that occurred. Graham, who has been helping lead the congressional Russia inquiry, also declined Wednesday to call for a special prosecutor, saying we'll talk about it if and when the probe becomes a criminal investigation. In an interview with MSNBC, Graham said he didn't think Comey's termination was a deliberate attempt to squelch the ongoing FBI investigation that many believe could implicate Trump and his associates. He adhered to the White House talking point that Comey's dismissal was instead due to his handling of the Clinton email investigation. As for whether optics could suggest more nefarious motivations, Graham said he was unconcerned. "I don't really care about what y'all think about the timing. I have a job and I'm going to do it," Graham said. James Comey is a fine man who has compromised himself in multiple ways. Both Graham and Scott agreed that Comey's dismissal would not complicate the Russia investigation, either on Capitol Hill or at the FBI. They also said Democrats had no right to complain after blasting Comey in the final weeks of the campaign for announcing he would reopen the Clinton email investigation. Republicans, months earlier, had decried his decision not to recommend Clinton be handed criminal charges. Regardless of what they are saying today, Scott said in a statement, Democrats have continually called for Director Comey to be fired over the past 6 months.